I just broke up with this guy recently. It's probably good. We would fight a lot. One of our big fights was he would get mad at me because I like to joke immediately after sex. I just feel like it's a good time for some jokes. I don't think there needs to be any gentle gazing period after sex. I don't like to do any soft gazing. I just feel like sex is done and now it's joke time. I like to throw change on a man after sex. That's very funny to me personally. I just like to take some coins and toss them on his dumb, naked, post-sex man body and say something like, shh, less is more out of you, okay? You take those coins and you keep your mouth shut about what's happened in this room, all right? Because what happened right here is disgusting, okay? You should go out and buy yourself something special because you're beautiful. I also like to pretend like the guy tricked me into the sex. Like the moment it's done, I'm just slowly realizing it's all been a big ruse. And I'm kind of obsessed with those old films from the 40s. So the moment sex is done, I like to be like, well, I don't understand what that all had to do with helping the children. You said if we did all them awful things, those children would get their cure for polio. It was all a lie, wasn't it? Those children are no better for the godless things I've done in this room, are they? It was a big lie, and now look at me laying here all covered in sin. I just feel like the right guy is gonna be like, hey, listen up, sugar tits. Those children never had a goddamn chance. They are mangled with polio as we speak. Now clean yourself up, for Christ's sake. I just went home to visit my parents. I don't know if anybody feels like this, but when I go home, I'm okay for maybe 6 minutes, and then I just feel weirdly furious. And then I feel guilty about the wild level of hostility that I'm feeling. I was talking to my friend about this. I'm like, do you ever get like that when you go home? And he goes, oh yeah. He goes, do you know what I realized? I realized if my mom wasn't my mom, I didn't even think I'd be friends with her, right? I'm like, really? That was your big realization? I'm like, obviously. That'd be very weird if you just had this intense relationship with some middle-aged diabetic woman in Pennsylvania. You would just go fly and see her on the weekends sometimes. And she would bother you about getting health insurance. And you'd be like, well, this was great, Sharon. Let's do it again in about 5 months. That's what I'm comfortable with. And next time when you're feeding me and I've told you repeatedly that I'm full, I'm gonna ask you to start respecting that, Sharon. My mom's just really embarrassing. Her newest thing she's doing is, well, she likes to talk to every stranger. She just likes to sort of stop people and have these kind of sassy moments with them. They're not having the moments with her. They're often listening to her with this sort of a stance. Like, we were out at this Latin restaurant. I felt so bad for the guy because I was like, he has no idea what's about to happen to him right now. Like my mom likes to just kind of, she likes to let people know that she's just kind of down with everything, you know? So he comes over to our table. He says something so reasonable. I was like, he has no idea what's about to happen. He just told her that they were very slammed and that he needed a moment. Here's my mother's unacceptable response to that. She goes, oh, please, take your time. I lived in California in the 1960s. I'm like, what the does that mean? What in God's name just happened? She will not stop doing that California thing to people. I've begged her. No one knows what to do with that. It's so genuinely confusing for people. They just sort of look at her like they don't feel safe. I was an awkward kid, too. You know, there was this girl in my school, and I just wanted to be her. She just had everything perfect. I was a very slovenly child, and her name was Caitlin, and she had this like long, blonde, silky hair, and I wanted hair like hers. I had this strange, heinous, gnarled fro, and I got this piece of yellow yarn and I just placed it over my head and I would just go to school like that. I somehow thought I was fooling everyone into thinking I was a blonde with this one piece of loose string just tangled in my heinous nest hair. And I really wanted her name, so I went to the mall and I had this bracelet made that just said Caitlin, and I would wear it. It was very unstable. I would just wear her name and stare at her like, I'm Caitlin now. And Christ loves me very, very much. She was one of those girls. She was always all organized and did everything perfectly. You know, her pencil case was amazing. I'm still very angry about it. Her pencil case was incredible. It could do anything. Little Koreans would jump out and do cartwheels into the air. I'd borrow a pencil from her and she'd remember a few days later and ask about it. She was one of those girls, like, she really ran a tight ship. Like, she'd be like, I think on Monday morning in second period, you actually borrowed. I'm like, it's gone, bitch, it's gone. All right? I had a lot of Jaeger. I have no idea where it is right now, so I'm gonna ask you to let it go, okay?